talked about this program several times already, Sylvia.
Yes.
And with the program itself, we pretty much show people how to create a quick squeeze page within a matter of minutes, not hours, not a half hour, not 10 minutes, but a few minutes. And that's about it, you know. And a lot of people are promoting right now about putting these pages together and driving, YouTube traffic and everything else. And I've heard about that time and time again, although I can't see how that's possible. But the bottom line is you turn around and you actually create what you need to create, and that's a website or a web banner or whatever you need, okay? And the nice thing about the program here is it's as easy as taking this right here and say, I want to create me a nice little web banner, and it depends on which color you want. I mean, you got pink, red. Say if I take this little red one over here, I like, let's see, you can, well, let's take this one over here, just drag it in like this, and boom, I don't want to match the colors, I'll just leave it as it is, and you do it just like this, okay? See all this stuff over here? All this is movable. All this you can move around, you can put wherever you want to, or you can make it a solid image, or you can move it outside the box a little bit, and you get your logo over here, and you got everything you have over here, your titles, and you can actually right click and lock it in, like lock the shape and everything else, or you can turn it, move it anywhere you want. In a lot of cases,
you can change the colors.
Oh yeah, you can change all the colors. So in a lot of cases, I would just take something like this, and just to show people that you can take something like this over here and drop it in, and move it anywhere you want. So say for instance, if I need it bigger, I can do like this. Now try to do this in front page. It's not going to work. Try to do it with Dreamweaver. Try to do it with WordPress. It's definitely not going to work. You got to go out and shop around and find and create it. So if I said, if I just went over here and hovered over this and just said marketing, oops, with Joe and Sylvia. All right, and I say, okay, that's a little bit longer there, but I'm not going to worry about that for now, because I'm going to take this and I'm going to go over this side over here. Or just move over like this. Let's make it a little sort of red for right now so it pretty much stands out. Click down here, and that's it. You go over here, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. You don't need it that big. So I'm going to just simply drop over here, and you can see it moves any way you want. So if you're going to move too far in one direction, you know it. Just click 18, and just say, over here, click. That's your text tool. And right over here, just say, make money with affiliate marketing. Okay, and that's it. Simple as that. So now you got a banner. The beautiful thing about this, say if I wanted to use this banner and place it on, say if you just were forced to use WordPress, and you shouldn't have to be, because right here, if you use an HTML site, it's going to load like 1,000 times faster than the WordPress site will. So what you do is, you would just take this thing right here and file, and you would export it as JMP or JPEG or PNG, and there you go. And when you place in the file, the whole banner, all your changes and everything else, you can place it there, and you can make it the perfect size from here as well. And that's the beauty of all, of doing it this way. So you have a lot of different options here as to what you can do with this. In addition to that, say if I wanted to create a whole website, okay, or just create a web page, as we already shown in a previous session, that you can actually take a page and in a few minutes just have a squeeze page. Wasn't that nice? It made it that fast. Okay, so if I went ahead and just clicked on this and I says cut the group, and that poor group, all right, and then I went from the headers, and as you can see over here, if I just turned around and went up to, say, like, for instance, you got your nav bars and everything else. Let's look for your web templates. Let's look for your themes, and say, for instance, I grab the Fusion theme right here, okay, or as you can see, all these pages right here, which you can use to create an entire website very, very quickly. Or over here, if I want to use this, or say, for instance, let me grab something like, let's see here, and say I did this one right here, and I pulled this one over. Okay, don't match it. And there it is right there. Say if you use a particular web theme like that, or if you wanted to create a whole website right from scratch, you can do that. And at the same time as everybody's wondering how they can pull it out a little bit, you can pull it this way. You can bring it out farther, try to do that with WordPress. You're going to have to be playing around with everything in there. Okay, and pretty much, that's the way you can run it that way. The rest you don't see on the outside. If you clicked on it and took a look at it, there would be your web page. Okay, and you see how this moved over here. If I wanted to, I could make this longer. Okay, all the way to the end. As you can see right there. Okay, so that would be your bar. And if I didn't want to do that, I can simply do this and remove these elements here. I can even do this right here, navigation structure. And at the same time, say if I was going to paste my group, my bitmap group from here, and just place it in there, select a little like this. I can even round the corners if I wanted to. But there you go. And if you wanted to change the colors here, you can do that. Or if you want to just remove the whole thing, there you go. Okay, so you can start creating your whole web page. If I wanted to keep this as this color or change it any color I wanted, I can simply do that. Let me delete this here. And down here, it's as easy as hovering over some words and saying 2014. And that's it. And coming back up there, and as you can see, there's your banner right there. Whatever you're going to use. And the nice thing about these pages here is when you're, say like I want to make it longer, so I want to pull it down and make the page longer, okay, or shorter, and you keep that different color in there and everything else, so it makes it really nice. And if I wanted to, I can start a second page, a third page, a fourth page. But as you can see, if you wanted to make it like consistent, because you see this color over here, I says, well, I'm gonna see what it's gonna look like if I kind of like make this over here, that particular color, okay? Or you can, well, let me reach down here, my color picker, and I take that color picker right there, and I move it. You see, I'm moving that over the color down here, okay? Or move it up the color here, or whatever color I pick. Like, say, if I'm gonna take that blue, that background, and then I go from there, so it becomes this background color here. Or if I want to go ahead and change whatever color I want to change that background from here, I can do that as well just by hovering over it and make it a darker blue, or let me grab that color blue and do like that. There you go. See how easy it is to make those changes. Okay, you can change anything on here, including, just let me double click on here. And if I wanted to change the background color here to a, say like, let me get a lighter blue. So I just move that thing like this. It's up to the person doing what they're doing, and that's it. Then if I take this color over here, and I say I want to make that the exact color, so I don't have to play with it to figure out if that's the color or not, I can just do it like that. And then if I wanted to change this over here because it's that color, and say I want to make that a darker color like this, and that's it. And I would simply click off here, and I'm going to say save the colors, and there it is right there.
Another banner.
Another color banner, and everything right there is move it anywhere you want. You don't have to work the letters or anything moving unless you wanted it to. You can ungroup it and then move everything you want, and you can change anything in here. So it just gives it a whole different look, all by itself.
Landing pages and squeeze pages, and there's videos on how to make images and memes and graphics. So, knowing these skills, you could already start making money with them if you wanted to advertise or post these banners on, customizing these banners on Fiverr or something.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. You can do all that, So, yeah, exactly. You can do the whole thing out there. So it just shows people how easy it is just to change a simple banner. So, do you have any comments about that? Make it easy for people, or just leave it as is, or if they want, they can always click one button and change it back to where it was.
Right. And as zillion of combination of colors as you would want.
Exactly. Anything they needed, anything they wanted, there it is. Any type of web design they wanted. the sky's the limit, you know.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about it is these aren't it's set in stone because you can change them to anything you wanted them to be. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing about it. So technically, I can design a website just in a few minutes and get it out there. And like I was saying before, anything you want to change on here, you can do that just by, you know, as far as like say if I wanted to use this as a squeeze page, like we talked about before, it's easy to just go ahead and grab the placeholder right there and put your, and you don't even see the color like that, but it tells
Right.
you exactly where you're going to place it, and put your autoresponder in there, and that's it. As simple as doing that and clicking a simple button over here and placeholder, and right there put your HTML code for whether you got get response, whether you have Aweber, whether you have in contact or whatever. You place it in there, you okay it, you render it, boom. And that's it. It's all over with. And then you get your autoresponder there. But the nice thing is, what I like about it is, if you don't like where your autoresponder is, and you can't do that. Say, like if you put it in your inside your page, you know, for your let's see, WordPress site or something like that, you just can't take it and move it around. And what
Right.
happens is you have all kind of problems. With this right here, you can move it anywhere you want. So if I wanted to put it over here and put the video over here and put an arrow over here telling them, you know, that automatically click here, or if I put it over here and I want to put a video over here, say my video is just sitting over here conveniently, and I want to make it the same size over here as my autoresponder, and I do it this way, and then I move this part down over here, so I'm trying to even it out a little bit. And
Or
then
if you want to put it on one, stack it one on top of each other for whatever reason, you could do that.
like next to, oh yeah, next to each other or whatever. But if I have it like that and I got it set up, and I'm just going to leave it like that, and at the same time have my video here, then have my autoresponder here, and if I want to just play with that as well and just put like a little, you know, whatever, like here's my pencil, just, you know, come over here and look at that, draw a little arrow like this, and then come up here and take this right over here and click on this part, and then come down over here and click that red down there, and there's my little arrow right there, which, you know, somebody can, you know, click here or do this over there, or move it over farther. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger just by doing it that way. See that? Move it over, and you can even run it through like this, and it would actually go through the video. It wouldn't make any difference, you know. So anything like that, and bring it over. Then you can reshape it if you want, you know, to any shape you want it. And it may not look like that. If you want to just go ahead and say, well, I don't like that, I'm just going to go ahead and point to it like this, and there you go. Simple as that. Okay.
It looks good.
Bring it in here and do it like that. You know, sign up now, sign up today. You know, just go right to where the arrow is. And you can do anything you want on here, and that's the beauty of it. And it just takes a minute to do. With video, you just grab any video and stick the video right here, and the video is going to play for you. It makes no difference what it is. So,
Yeah.
you know, YouTube video, or using a custom video player video, or using any other type of video, just put it in there and you're done. You have a whole squeeze page, and you can have it done in a matter of a few minutes, nothing more. If I wasn't talking, it'd be like click, 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 click. It's done on the internet. It's over. Simple as that.
Yeah. And once you have a setup that you like, you can just use it over and over again without having to, you know, hope that the plugin won't conflict with the plugin on your new site, and
That's right.
wonder if they will provide you with an image with the color that you want, because you're in complete control with the web design program.
That's right. You can do anything you want to do with it. You know, like I said, you can make it taller, and if you say, I don't like that space in between there, you just move the thing up like this, and there you go. You just eliminate that space. If you wanted more space to place something down here, okay, you just pull it on down, and there it is, and you provide you more space right there.
I was just thinking, if I was on WordPress, I would be on the page, in the dashboard, on the text panel, trying to figure out how many BR brackets I'm going to have to place in order to get that white space exactly what I want.
Exactly.
Exactly what I wanted.
So say, for instance, if I do a quick preview or whatever over here, okay, and I'm previewing the site, and I open it up so I can actually preview it before I actually launch it, and there you go. There's the site right there, and you shut it on down, and there you go, and you're all done.
Yep. And can you imagine this great template, how many ways it can be used for, how many niches, just because you have the ability to change the colors.
Oh yeah, I can just turn around and click File. I can click Save As. I can save that thing and have it in a I can put it in my folder, okay, and turn around. Say, like, for instance, say, Joe, I need that. I'd like to have that because it makes it easy for me to do it. And I can change it and everything else. And I need to make a couple fast squeeze pages, and I just sure, no problem. So what I do is I take the thing and size it, and I just go ahead and wrap it up. I send it to you. You pull it into your program, and it's done. And you're making a few
Right.
changes you have. You put your own autoresponder code on there. You put your own video on there. You launch it, and it's going to take you maybe 2 minutes at tops,
Yep.
and it's all over with. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what it is. You don't have to do anything, and it's just so simple to do. And yeah,
I was just saying the truth about all those, landing pages and squeeze page plugins. They're essentially the same thing. The different parts that they might offer, like a countdown or, a date timer. You can easily find
oh
free
God.
HTML code on the internet. All you have to do is do a search in Google, say free countdown timer.
That's right. Well, I hate countdown timers because you got these great big old things on the bottom over here, and I mean, and these things are like this all over all over the page, and
This
that
has
you
such
have
a
over there,
scene.
and they're so darn big. And I'm trying to look at the bottom of the page, I can't see it, and to me, it doesn't express urgency. I mean, if I want urgency, all I got to do is simply come up here and just do like this and say, um, it expires, just like this in 3 days, you know, you
Exactly.
know, period, and that's it. It expires in 3 days. I mean, there's your urgency right there. And I can set that thing right over here in the middle. See that little line that breaks it in the middle. And if I want to, I can make it nice in a red color. And if I want to, I can turn over here and I can use the, I mean,
Me too.
well, I don't even need to do that. I just take this right here to make it real simple rather than using the other two. And I'll just, look at that. Okay. Expires in 3 days. Period. That's
Yep.
it. That's all you got to do. And you don't need a countdown timer to tell you it's going to expire in 3 days. You can put the date down there if you want to. If you want to put today's date, you can put January 20th. That's what it is.
Yep.
And the same thing, over here, and you can say, no, well, January
They,
20th.
yeah.
Okay, 2014. Okay, just like this, and look at this. I don't have to worry about anything. I just make it bigger, and I turn around and make it. I just turn around and take this thing and move it over a little bit more. I take my tool, and I just pull this, far as well. What is that right here? Because I just take this, and there's my tool right there, and I move this thing anywhere I want on here, and bring it out farther. I just had it like this. So I just take my tool itself and I have it over here in this end. I bring it out, or I bring it from here. Let me grab it. Okay, there it is. Let me grab it for a second. Okay, and that's it. I just move this thing over here, and it's right down in the middle. You move it to the middle of your page or wherever you want it. Let me get this over here, and there's my middle part, and that's it. It shows me my line. And January 20th, 2014 expires in 3 days. I mean, how much more you have to tell people? You don't need that big old thing down there flashing and all the numbers and everything else. Today I was looking at one, and I'm trying to look to the bottom of the page, and I can't see the bottom of the page because she had this big old countdown timer thing down over there. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
come on, I don't need anything to tell me 5 seconds, 4 seconds, or whatever. Oh, it's almost gone. This isn't eBay. You know what I mean? Where you're bidding on something and that's it. It's not eBay. Because the price is either going to go up with a lot of these things on JVZoo, or they're going to go down, or they're going to stay as is. I'm going to lock in the price. I'm going to give you one price. You're going to purchase it, and that's it. But I'll tell you that today's January 20th, 2014. So tomorrow they know that it's January 20th. The next day they know it's January 20th. And they know they only have 1 day left because I launched it on January 20th, 2014. I mean, it's a no-brainer. What do I need all that other stuff for on there? It's a very annoying annoying to see these great little countdown timers they have today on there. To me, it's annoying. I don't know about the other people, but I know to me it's an extremely annoying thing to have it all over there when I'm trying to look at the website. I'm trying to read the text. I don't want to see that big old thing flashing on there.
You're like, I'm trying to see if I really want this thing.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, and like I said, today I was looking at one, and I'm trying to look at the bottom. He had this great big old countdown timer down here, and I couldn't see the bottom of the page. It wouldn't go beyond the bottom of the page, so it cut off part of the text. So I said, "This is ridiculous." Forget it. I clicked off. I was gone. I didn't even want to look at it anymore. And it might have been a sale. Who knows?
Yeah.
I just couldn't see what it said in the bottom.
Well, the one thing I like about the way, that is placed on top versus the height between with the countdown timer is that it keeps your page light. So that means it loads fast, which means, anyone who's interested is not going to click away because you're waiting for the countdown timer to load on a page.
Exactly. So that's pretty much the way it is, and this thing is so easy to make your changes, do what you want to do. Look at this. Like I said, you put your video over here, you put your sign up page over there, boom, I made an arrow. I mean, there's people charging money to do arrows like this, or any type of arrow you want to make, you can put it on there, or you can have one that you already have and import it inside the program itself and use that as well. If you want it blinking, whatever, you want to make an animation, or whatever the case may be, you can do that and make your money that way.
Yep, and you can change the color of the arrow too.
Oh, absolutely. Just by one click of the button, if you want to make it the same color as the other one, or blue, or whatever, there you go. Or if you want to make it that color over there, you just take this thing like this, and you move it, and look at that. You want to make it red, right over there, and you want to make it the same color red, there it is right there. So, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it just blows the pants off of WordPress.
Yeah, it does.
And what do I need all those plugins for? The more plugins I have, the slower my site's going to load, and as everybody should know, that Google actually rewards you because your site loads faster.
Yes.
So, and that's just the bottom line. So Here you go, and hey, what else can I say about what we're doing over here? So if you want, just go ahead and let a bunch of people know that how easy it is really to make a web page. That they don't need to do all this other stuff, and as far as going out there and looking for the latest and greatest plugin that may just slow down their system, or while they're playing with plugins and installing them and everything else on a WordPress site, I'm done. I'm on the internet and I'm making my money, and that's the way it works. Or somebody's reviewing my video and I have the ability to take a video and transfer somebody else to another page, or you can actually. The beauty of this is you're taking this page right here. Let's say, for instance, you're doing a product because you want them to click over here and sign up. Well, it's as simple as clicking over here. And if you look at that, insert a duplicate page. So now if you look over here, you have one and you have a second page over here. So if, of the particular product itself. So you have two pages of that product page, and this one over here is just that page. I just remove those easy by doing it like that, and I'll try to do WordPress, see what happens. Your whole thing will be messed up forever in a lifetime. Okay, but if you
can find the page to correct it.
exactly, and that's the way it works. So if I'm clicking over here and say I just removed this right over here, and as you can see from there that I just removed, you see that page right there, that's the front page, and that's the second page, just to let you know that it actually just works like that. So you can turn around and do anything you want. You might put another video down there, and down here you might move it down a little bit and get you a little order button. So if you want to, you can even create your own order button, or you can just go in here and just, or create another button, but you can just go ahead and, take your order button and just say simply, you know what I mean, or look at that. Looks nice in the back of that blue there, doesn't it? Order now. And, people know to click there to order now, and, and that's it. You can turn around and take your other video and just stick this thing right over here. And if you wanted that to be another video that you have when they land on a particular page, you can do that. You can move that thing so it's right in the middle. And they still know it expires in 3 days, and there's January 20th, and there it is right there, and you can set it up. Or you can go ahead if you say, well, I don't like that one, so you just turn around conveniently, you click over here, and you bring that thing down like this, and you go like that, and there it is. Simple as that. Wow, that was fast, wasn't it? Okay, and there's your
I
order
guess
page. Now,
so.
if you want to move it, you can actually lock in the text and lock the text itself just by right-clicking and do it that way. But I'm going to do it like this, and say, for instance, well, here you go.
Oh, you put the arrow. You know
Yeah,
what?
but
One
I
thing I
got
noticed
another
though,
arrow like this.
you
Okay.
know, you could buy an arrow, and if you copy and paste it into WordPress, it would not overlay it onto the video and point to the order now graphic like that. It
No,
would be a little arrow, and it would end at the edge of the video.
exactly. Exactly. So here I got one page over here. That's my first page. I'm actually doing my introduction and everything else. Hey, click over here and get it today. And as they click over there and they submit it as, you just drive it to your second page that nobody sees because there's no navigation structure. And there it is. Boom, they land on your second page. You see your video. Glad you landed here. Here's the product. I'll show you what it looks like, what it does. And at the same time, you know, just click down below and order now. Boom, they click there, they order now, and there it is. I just created a whole sales funnel in a matter of a few minutes.
Yep, and notice how the colors and the text size and the text font and all the stuff in the footer and header remains exactly the same, and you're not you're not sitting there with that stinking feeling of, oh, I have to recreate all that on my second page and make sure that it's the right size, as the first page that I spent all this time with all these details that can just bog you down and keep you from moving forward.
Right. I hate to tell you this, if you don't get it, it's going to expire in 3 days. You know, and that's about it. So if you want to click over here, simply like this, and just put your 3, because I had it right there in 3 days right there, and that's it because I had in 3 days. Okay. And you turn around, you take the other one too, and you say in 3 days, or you go back over here, you make it capitalized in 3 days. So I just made that quick change right there. So if I turn around and I don't have to touch anything, and right there, if I moved it, see perfectly alignment. You see that middle line right there, so you know it's perfect in there. And if I go to my next one and say, hey, maybe I did the same thing over there, and I move that, there it is right there. So it's perfect alignment. So in each one, look at that, perfect alignment. It didn't jump over, back and forth, or whatever the case would be. So you know you got a perfect alignment. It was that simple. So I showed you how to make a correction in a second.
You didn't have to pray to the WordPress gods that it would work.
That's right. That's right. Or go and click over here and preview the page 15 different times, you know what I mean, before I can finally get it exactly the way I wanted it. And 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to do something like this, it's not going to be like that. So I created it that fast, and there's your order button. You can round off here. You can put round order buttons and whatever you want. Click here, boom, 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 and just, make it any size you want, or do it like that and bring it over here. And you can make it like, different shapes and everything. And if I want to make it longer, I can do it like this and put it down there and say order now, or whatever the case may be. You see, it's a no-brainer. Something like this is, I design websites like this all the time, and people wonder, well, Joe, how do you got over 1,000 websites up? It says, well, I can create, 100 in a day with this thing and just launch them all and just go ahead and dominate, my area of the market, and people are going to find me everywhere, and there you go. And people are always asking me about SEO. Well, how do you put your description? How do you put your keywords in there? That's not like WordPress. Well, WordPress is something else, because with WordPress, if you get something like, Yoast SEO or something like that, that means on every page you have to do this stuff. And every page you come with, you got to do the same thing over and over again. But with this here, you just take the thing, you simply right-click, you go on web page property, you put whatever your file name is, your title of your file name, your page description, you put all your keywords in there, and the same thing right over here. You put the title, and that's what shows up on the internet on that left-hand side, whatever your title is. You put your page description in there, and always this becomes the index page, That will always be your index page, and that's your first page because, index HTML. And you go ahead and run that thing. You just apply it, okay. And when you do that, instantly, every time you duplicate that page, the same content, the same keywords, and everything else will be on that page, so you don't have to worry about doing it over and over and over and over again. That is so monotonous. It just drives me crazy. Doing it this way is fast. Exactly. It's extremely fast. It's done. That's it. I'm on the internet. Everybody else is still playing around with plugins. I'm already on the internet.
Yeah, or
You
learning the
know?
new plugin. That's, the plugins are, the idea behind it is great, but the reality of it is every time I, purchase a new plugin, I'm just like, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to have to dedicate at least, an hour to 3 hours to learn how to make this thing work right because it's going to make my life easier. And in the end, the 3 hours that it sucked away from me, I wonder how many web pages I could have learned, designed with this design program.
One second here. Let me center that. And then at the same time, I says, I don't like the way it looks right there, just like that. So I'm going to go over here and click my little tool here. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it to the side and say, help. I don't want to use WordPress. Look at that. And if you got something like this, you don't have to worry about that because it's just the way the spelling is. You see the little underline there. You have several options here. One of the option is when you click on it, you can go ahead and go over to your tool over here and just hover over it like this and simply click it, and you can add it, okay, or you can turn around and just leave it as, because people don't see that when it's online anyways. That's just telling you that it's either a misspelling or whatever the case may be. And that's nice because it has its own spell checker built in and everything else. You leave it on and you do your work and you're done, and that's it. Help. So when you click over here, you don't see the same thing duplicated. And over here, and there it is. Help. I don't want to use WordPress.
Now for landing pages and squeeze pages.
That's it. And it makes it that fast. So, anybody who wants to be a marketer and get online right now today, this is the way to do it to me. This is the way for me. This is the way to do it. Anybody who wants to play with plugins all day long, be my guest.
No,
that's not happening.
Say that it doesn't have any technical issues the next time WordPress decides to issue an update.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. No more updates. No thank you. Don't want it. And that's another thing. You have to update WordPress all the time. And this, you can't hack this. You can hack WordPress, especially if you don't update and everything else, but you're not going to be able to hack this HTML site. Not happening. Sorry. So you don't have to worry about that. You load it up there, and it can be up there for years. You don't have to touch the thing. Can't do that with WordPress because by tomorrow they're going to have another update, and if you don't update it because of the bugs, it makes your site vulnerable to hackers, among other things, and then you have another problem. I've talked to too many people saying I went to my site and it was hacked. Somebody's got a big old skull with 2 crossbones through its head or something like that. You know what I mean? You've been hacked.
What about that nice Google screen that comes up that's all red, and then it has a thing that says, our system indicates that if you move forward, you are, you're going to get, spamware all over your site.
Absolutely. There you go. Perfect example. There you go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on, I'll throw it on a YouTube page. Actually, I can run it to my own video renderer, or you can do it to the program itself. But what I'm going to do is do it that way, and let people know there's an alternative. You know what I mean, to getting it online right now or getting it online next week. Whatever the case may be, and low to no maintenance. That's what it's all about.
Fast action.
That's right. And if you want to go back up there and make another change in a few seconds, you can go ahead and make that change if you want to. And next week, if you want to make some changes, you can do that very quickly. Not a problem. Get it done, and it's all on your desktop. You don't have to worry about when your WordPress site. So many people tell me my WordPress site crashed. How do I get it back? There's no way to back it up, through the hosting company. Well, with this, it's right here. It's in your lap. Anytime you want to, you can shoot it up anywhere you want. And if your whole web hosting went down, you can just go ahead and transfer your DNS codes for your domain name to some other host. Get it up there in a few minutes. You're up and running again. Try to do that with WordPress. I don't know. Okay, but that's the way it works. Okay, Sylvia, that's about it. So,
okay.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
See you soon, everybody.